Hi, my name is Miranda Vaughn. I am a reference and archives librarian at the Mississippi Library Commission, and I'm going to talk to you about our project called Researching Black Ancestry. Just a little bit about the Mississippi Library Commission. It was created in 1926 by the Mississippi Legislature to provide public libraries in the state with various services. We serve as a consultation agency for them. We have multiple departments, including a library development department that really focuses on reaching out to libraries and doing continuing education programs with them, that sort of thing. We also have talking book services that services our blind and visually impaired patrons. We have a patent and trademark office as well, and we also provide information services and reference services, which is where I'm located. Most of the work that we normally do is outreach and assisting other libraries in the state. So we do a lot of in-person work, and with the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to cut pretty much all of that down. So we were trying to find ways to offer virtual services to our libraries and our patrons. So we came up with a series of webinars, and this particular series is focused on African American genealogy. It's called Researching Black Ancestry, and it's a 4-part series that just kind of covers the basics of genealogy and specifically related to researching Black ancestry and the types of records you're going to be looking at and looking for, what kinds of information those records are going to provide. And part 1 was really just a video to get you started. There's a little bit of information about just general genealogy tips, as well as historical information about Black Americans, records of the enslaved, things like that, to give you a background to get started. Our second video, part 2, covered national records. So those included government organizations like the National Archives and Records Administration, the Library of Congress. It also covered websites like Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.org, places like that that are commonly used in genealogy research, and that has a lot of records that you can access digitally or through a website or database. Part 3 of our series focused on Mississippi records. So these are records that are pertaining specifically to the state of Mississippi, records that are housed in Mississippi. These cover, of course, the Mississippi Library Commission and our records that we have here and resources that we have here, as well as the state archives, digital collections through the Mississippi Digital Library, some public libraries and university libraries. We just sort of talked about the different collections that those institutions have that could be helpful in researching Black ancestry. And then the last part of the video, part 4, was just additional resources and guides, basically whatever wouldn't fit in the previous videos. We talk a little bit about interpreting records, things like marriage records, birth and death certificates, slave schedules, things like that, that if you're not familiar with using primary sources, you might need. We also talked a little bit about the history of Black Americans and Native Americans, and some Black ancestry may have Native American ancestry as well. So we talked about things like the Dawes rolls that could provide information that would be helpful if that is your case, that you do have some Native American ancestry as well. So we explored that topic a little bit and also provided some book recommendations as well. We've had some good feedback from some librarians, as you can read here. We have a panel discussion scheduled for later this month with some librarians and archivists and genealogists across the state. And we also provided our patrons with handouts and syllabi to go along with these videos so that they can use them for their own workshops as well. This is the contact information. You can find our videos on our YouTube channel and through our various social media pages as well. And I've also included contact information for our reference staff and for myself if you have any questions. And we appreciate you for listening.